So we just got a notification that our parcel was dropped off at our house. So we went outside to look, and sure enough, there was no parcel. So we go back and we're like, excuse me, there's no parcel at our house. And they're like, nope, there's definitely a parcel there. So they sent us a photo. They sent this frickin' parcel to a museum in town. So I'm just going to pick it up right now. That's what I'm doing. We think it's one of those buildings over there. Let's see if it's here. There you go. Sitting there in all its glory. They walked, what? They seriously walked through the snow to put this parcel here. Got it. Well, that's interesting. Man, I'm going through oscillatory life cycles, and I'm learning a ton of good stuff. But then he talked about one of his oscillations was his room being clean, and then I looked at my room. That is not necessarily the cleanest thing in the world. So I'm going to finish the video, get it done, and then I'm going to clean up the room. Because that definitely is one of my oscillations. Out of the 10 that I wrote down, that's definitely one of them. I wonder, how do I look in this portrait blur? I'd just be interested to see. Alright, so I just wanted to go through quickly what I learned today. So I went through oscillatory life cycles today. And what I learned is in life, we oscillate between basically two states. So we have our floor and we have our ceiling. So right here, I know you can't see this very well, but right here, your ceiling could be making $10,000 a month, and your floor could be making $5,000 in a month. And you will do anything in the world to never hit your floor. When you hit your floor, you're just like, this is the end. I need to do it. So the bottom of the graph is the lowest you're willing to go. It is your hygiene standard. So we are the average of the oscillation. The center is light. It is who we truly are. So for this guy here, you aren't this side or that side. You are this part right here in the middle. That is what defines you and who you actually are. So just a quick example. This is an example of my life. So I would go through watching and consuming porn. And so this is my journey through that. So the very beginning, there has to be a state that you're in before this actually happens. And that was that I am doubtful that I will ever make it. So I'd get super depressed and I'd be like, I just can't do this. And then all of a sudden I'd get an urge to open Quora. So Quora is this website, if you guys don't know it, it's kind of like Reddit, and you can post all of your unfiltered things. And I'd go on there and I justify it to myself because I'm like, I'm not actually reading I'm not actually seeing anything. I'm just reading things. And then from that, I'd go on there and, well, I would just read, but then I'd find a slightly erotic story. And so then you can see I'm getting farther and farther down on this graph here. I'm just slightly going down. But then it quickly devolves into going on Instagram and scrolling and looking at, as you can see here, just random girls in bikini. And this was my hygiene standard. I would never allow myself to get below this. Once I hit this, I was like, done. But if I did let it go farther, this would eventually lead into the full-blown porn, which this guy is looking at here. And so if you were to map this out, basically these are the emotions that I'm feeling that are bringing me to this place. So first I have doubt. So that's my trigger. So when I'm like, I'm not going to make it, then I have doubt, and then I seek an escape. And my escape is going on Quora, and then I go on Quora, and then I feel shame. And then from the shame, I'll be like, oh, it's fine, and I'll go do something, and I'll try to feel fulfilled, but then I'll be doubtful, I'm never going to make it, whatever. So on the graph, you can see here, I'm fulfilled, and then I'm doing good, no erotic content, I'm confident, and then the trigger, doubt suddenly creeps in, and then I start to read erotic stories on Quora. Then I look at girls on Instagram, which is my hygiene standard. Once I'm here, I feel a lot of shame, and then I want to stop this, so that's my trigger again. And then I'm back up to recovery. So that's what I learned today. I think this video, or what Charlie teaches here, is super useful and can really be used in our life in general. So I'll see y'all guys tomorrow. This is my end of day just analysis. So today I slept really good tonight. I got 8 hours of sleep. I was out partying till 1, so that is 8 hours of sleep actually got me up to, I slept until 10 o'clock, which wasn't ideal, but I needed the sleep. I worked for 6 hours, which isn't true, actually. I didn't turn off the timer for a bit of that, so it probably was closer to actually 3. And what I'm really mad about here is I really like to scroll going through open source apps. It's just something that I enjoy doing. I spent quite a few hours doing that, and as you can see here, eating took up quite a bit of my time, so that was hanging out with family as well as I watched a movie with them. My morning, that consisted of me just getting up, getting going, that was, plus I think it was some other things. But that was an hour 41, and then free time was an hour and 8. Definitely not happy with those stats from there. If I go into my app here, you can see screen time was 6 hours 55 minutes, which is the main thing that was dragging me down. As you can see here, Libertube was 1 hour and 15 minutes. That is basically YouTube, so that was obviously one of the main things that was bad. AntennaPod was 34 minutes. Ivy Wallet, so this is a budgeting app I was trying to use. Didn't work out. But then you can see here I'm just wasting time here, like Cashew, Redis, tons of these random things, and I did not get what I wanted done today. So gonna improve that for tomorrow, but I've got to head out, so that's all for today.